Drop has dropped in theaters. I did not plan that, so let's talk about it.
Can we start over?
Violet, a widowed mother, gets back into dating and goes on a date with a guy named Henry, but once she gets to the restaurant, she starts getting these weird airdrops on her phone saying that you have to kill your date in order to save your son. This is directed by Christopher Landon, who directed the two Happy Death Day movies and Freaky. So, will Violet manage to save her son and somehow save her date as well and find out who this mysterious killer is? Or will she have to kill her date to save her son? Let's find out and get to the review. Let's go. Please let me know, did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was okay? Did you love it? Please let me know what you thought of. Drop in the comments. Also, all the reviews I do are spoilers. So if you're not okay with spoilers, go watch the movie, then come back and watch this video. Also, I have a lot of content on my channel. Check those out once this video is done. We're kicking off things with the positives. Okay, now I think you guys should know, I'm a sucker for these whodunit / thriller films. I'm just a sucker for them. I love all those types of movies. One of the main reasons why I love the Scream franchise, and it's my favorite horror franchise of all time, is the whodunit vibes or whatever they got going on there. It's not just a slasher, it's a whodunit movie. So that's what I just love those types of movies. I think you guys should know that. But now let's actually get talking about the positives. My first positive for this movie is I love how it's very straightforward. It doesn't take 30 minutes at the house to play life and stuff and it'd be like a 2-hour and 30-minute movie. Or again, 30 minutes at the house, then a 10-minute drive. Like, it's not playing life here and it's just really boring. That's kind of what I was worried about. Like, 1 minute I thought it was going to be like this. It would be boring and play life and take 50 minutes to actually get the first airdrop. And then one side of me, I thought it would just be just straightforward. And yeah, my other side was right because it is very straightforward. Just it begins, we'll talk about actually the beginning scene, like little flashback scene in a sec. But like it begins, like she's getting ready, her sister comes, she's helping her pick out dresses, and then she just gives her little tips on the son. She leaves, drives out of the restaurant. It's not a long drive or something. It's just quick. Straightforward there. She gets there. She goes to the bar, and then she gets her first airdrop. So very, very quick and straightforward. Really like that. And yeah. Then we get introduced to Henry. He's a nice, cool guy. Also, it actually introduces the suspects. Sure, it does it briefly, but still, I like how it didn't do it fully, because that would be kind of weird, because if she's, like, talking with all the guys for, like, 5 minutes, that she's basically flirting and stuff, and Henry sees that, just ruin the movie, alright? It would be really weird and ruin the movie. It didn't do that. She bumps into this one guy who's, like, this tech kind of person, and he goes on his phone for, like, the entire film. So actually, he was my main suspect of who was the killer, because he was just on his phone the entire movie. Like, she would just look back at him, he'd be on his phone. So then she suspected that he would be the killer. But then eventually his sister comes and she's like, oh, maybe he's not the killer. Anyway, we'll talk about who the killer is, or killers, I should say, at the end. But, yeah. So then she talks with the pianist who's doing the music in the restaurant. She talks with him and, like, what song that she wants him to play. Another character is the bartender girl. Obviously, she talks with him. She, like, mentions how she is a kid and stuff, so they have a little good conversation there. And she seems like a nice person. And then also, the waiter, who is this really hyper but also chill guy. Um, and I guess it was like first time in the restaurant or something, or first shift in the night. I'm not totally sure, but yeah. And then um, after, like she obviously they're chatting with the waiter what they want and stuff, but yeah. I thought he was actually going to be the killer because in most movies, even the Scream movies, where like they seem like a nice, chill guy, and then it turns out no, they're murderers. So actually, that's what I thought. But yeah, again, we'll talk about the killers later. But yeah, it does a really good job at just briefly introducing all the suspects of who it could be in the restaurant, and it's not like a huge motive thing where you have to again zoom into them, get into their life for like 8 minutes. No, it doesn't do that briefly. And then we start to learn a little bit more about the suspect as we go on in the film, which, yeah, I did like. Just didn't do it right away. We learn a little bit more as they do more conversations of who this airdropper is. But yeah, I really like that. Now, let's get into like the flashbacks. So the film actually opens up with Violet just crawling away with like, she's bleeding on her face. I think she got a broken nose. And this guy comes down with a gun and like basically like kicks her and punches her and stuff, and then threatens to kill her. And then she takes the gun, threatens to shoot him, and she doesn't do that. And then he threatens to kill the son and stuff. So I think like 3 times in the film. So it opens up with that. She's crawling, threatens to shoot her, and then it just ends that flashback and then goes to the actual beginning. And then it actually does it like 2 more times in the film where it shows the guy with the gun. And like maybe he gives it to her and then she's about to shoot him. Then the last flashback she has at the end of the film is where he's about to shoot their son when he was like really little. And then he actually just shoots himself. And it turns out, well, first of all, when they first did that in the beginning scene of the film, or flashback, whatever, I actually thought that was going to be the killer. And that is just like, you know, in movies where they show like a scene and they like, let's take it back from the beginning and blah, blah, blah. And I thought that was like, he was the killer. And I'm like, they ruined the film. That's it. No, they ruined the film. This film's going to be boring and bad. No, it actually was a really good film. Cut to the chase. And that wasn't the killer. Turns out that was her husband. And he's like psychotic and stuff. And he actually just ends up, again, committing suicide and shooting himself at the end of the film. Because she has 3 flashbacks. I'm pretty sure it's 3 during the film. Like beginning, middle, end. So I actually kind of like that. Thought it was cool. Now, the tasks that she has to do is actually kind of cool. I found that actually really enjoyable. Because she's also got to, like, keep it chill because she's with her date. And she, apparently, if her date finds out, then, guess what? Her son dies. So I actually thought that was pretty cool. And pretty intense. Like, when she's scrolling through, like, because she has the cameras all set up in her house. She's scrolling through and then she just sees the guy with the black mask with a gun. I was just like, ooh, okay, kind of intense there. And yeah, the film is really intense, especially at the end. It's pretty cool. But anyway, awesome, cool stuff. And then like eventually she has to like, there's cameras all set up. Like everything was set up before. The table they were at, like apparently they were going to switch. And then the guy was like, if you switch, your son dies. They have to go back. Then he says like, you have to go find this poison thing so you can poison Henry's drink and kill him. Oh, guess what? She does that, and she's getting ready to do that. But she can't decide if she wants to kill her Dana because he seems like a sweet, chill guy, and she doesn't want to kill him. But she also wants to save her son because obviously she loves her son. But also, there's another thing where like she tells him to go ask for like lines or something for their shots, and then she like steals I forget what, but it's a card from her camera, breaks it, and apparently that was like because apparently Henry works for the president and is like a rat or something. Obviously not the animal, the actual like a rat or something like that. I actually kind of forget. I don't know how. I need to watch the movie again. But anyway, so yeah, the tasks pretty cool. Now we need to talk about the killer. So it was pretty sick, the reveal. That's what I love about the whodunit films. Some of them are just very generic and you can tell who the killer is going to be. But some of them, you don't know who the killer is. And like you keep guessing the entire film. Actually, I was just saying it out loud who I think the killer is going to be. And it kept on going back and forth of who I think the killer is. Then the twist reveal who the killer is, I was actually in shock. Because I couldn't believe it. Even though I yelled out with my friend, I was like, yeah, I knew it was him. I actually didn't. I don't even know why the hell I said that, but I didn't. And it was a pretty big surprise to me. It turned out it was this, like, it wasn't the bartender girl. I thought it would be her. It wasn't. It wasn't the waiter. It was not the pianist. Actually, the pianist died because she tried to, write on her money with the lipstick saying, like, help my son is going to die. So then she gave him the money. He looked at it, and then, like, he got a message saying, like, if you help, her son will die. And then eventually he drank his drink and he died. Foam mouth, and it was poisoned. So the pianist died. The tech guy, I immediately thought it was him. Because, again, the bartender, she chatted with Violet again, and she turned out, that she had a son. And I was just like, okay, it's not her. The waiter, again, I still thought it was him, but then I don't know, I just didn't think it would be him. And the tech guy was like, yeah, it's for sure him. He's been on his phone the entire time. And then his sister came and stuff, but still I thought it would be him. It wasn't any of them. It wasn't the tech guy who was on his phone the entire time. It wasn't the bartender girl. It wasn't the waiter. It was this guy who's actually just in the background the entire film. And we didn't really get to speak with him much, but we spoke with him in the beginning of the film where she was at the bar. She was just talking to him. He's 60 years old, and he maybe 50. I don't know, but he mentions how he is also getting back out there. I guess he got divorced or something, and he's getting back out there, going on a date again. So then they're chatting and stuff, and he seems like a really nice guy. And when they're trying to figure out who the airdropper is, she's like, no, it can't be him. No. Then it turned out actually that he is the killer because the bartender girl mentions hey, he reserved these other seats because for the final act she was like, okay, yeah, it's the tech guy. I'm gonna go over and sorry, I could not think here, but report him or whatever and catch him in the act and stuff. But then she stops him or she asks the bartender girl a question. She's like, no, these seats were actually reserved over there and stuff. So then she's like, oh shoot, it's him. And I was actually in shock. I was like, oh my gosh, it's him. And yeah, it's the nice, kind old guy who, his date left in the middle of the film because she was mad. And he was staying there the entire film in the background, so we didn't get to see him much. That was a very nice twist. I wouldn't have done it better. Great twist. He was the last person I thought would be the killer. But it turned out to be him. So that was really good. Really cool stuff. And then they just discuss, she goes over there, they discuss the entire time of what's going on and that kind of stuff. And then Henry comes over, he says, take the shot, come on. He pretends to do it and then actually dumps the shot on his dessert, and he eats the dessert and then he dies. He also revealed what Henry's job is and stuff, but she didn't really care. So then he gets the poison in him, and again, he doesn't actually die right away. He pulls out the gun because he's angry, and he stabs the bartender girl with a knife, and he's getting ready to shoot her or shot Henry because he saved her, and then he's about to shoot her. But then I guess she threw a puck at this window, and there was a big, because it's really windy out, and then he fell off the building. It's a really high building. He died, and then she starts falling, and she grabs something to hold her and stuff. Yeah, And then she gets freaked out because before he died, he called his worker that you can kill them now. So then she gets in. There's an insane driving part where she's just rushing. She's she doesn't care what's going on. She just bursting through stuff. It's awesome. She gets there. She gets freaking thrown over tables by the guy in the mask, and it's not really revealed because the guy wasn't really anyone you knew, but still, she's getting chucked over tables and stuff. So pretty funny. And then eventually she ends up killing him with a gun. And actually, her sister did get shot, but she survived. So yeah, and then it ends with her hospital. She goes to visit Henry, brings him Burger King, who doesn't, and milkshakes. And then also her sister is in the room next door. But yeah, it ends like that. So I basically just talked about the entire film. Those are all my positives. But yeah, the film was very straightforward, as I said, so I just revealed the entire film. But yeah, let's get to the negatives. Now, I don't have that many negatives. I actually have barely any. There's just two that I kind of want to talk about, but they're not big at all. They're just small little negatives, kind of I kind of wish they did this, but they're not big. So yeah. That first one is the guy in the black mask with the gun who is basically at the house for half the film trying to kill the sister and the son. I kind of wish it was a twist revealed that he was someone that you kind of saw before. He wasn't. He was just this guy who's working with the airdropper who, yeah, that was a big twist reveal. Last person I expected. As I said, my positives. But this one, not so much. I was just it's just a random guy. Alright. I wish they did a twist reveal there. That would have been awesome if they did two, because look at the Scream movies. I don't know why I keep bringing up the Scream movies. They have nothing, they're nothing like this. Sorry, we can bring up other movies. Let's see here, the Knives Out movies, or the, Death on the Nile, or whatever movies. Those are, again, nothing like this. So, this is something brand new here. But still, wish they did a twist reveal for the guy in the black mask with the gun. I just wish they did that. But they didn't. Just random guy. And yeah, but he's a goner anyways. The second one is I wish that, I know in my positives, I said that the film was very straightforward, which obviously, yeah, it is. It is super straightforward. That's kind of what I disliked also. I thought it was really good that they did that, but also kind of disliked. Not that I wanted it to be a boring life film. I wanted to, just have, maybe a little bit of action or something big in this film, because the end, when she gets to the house and then she goes saves her son and her sister, I guess, but even her sister got shot. She goes to the house, and I wish there's more of a fight between them. She just hides. There's not jump scare or anything, and the film wasn't, really that intense, which is kind of one of my negatives, is it wasn't very intense. I wanted it to be more intense than it was, but yeah, it still was. I just wanted more intense sequences in the film. And the film, I want the final act to be awesome, and it really wasn't that awesome. It was really cool, because she's getting chucked over tables, but still, I wanted a bit more of a fight there, and it really didn't do that, because she hides, and she stabs him, and then, with a knife, and then she grabs a gun that, for some reason, I don't know how, but her son is just driving his remote-controlled car over to her, and she picks up a gun and shoots him. Son, where are you getting this gun from, bro? Sorry, kid, I don't know his name. I think it's Tommy or something. Toby, sorry, it is Toby. Toby, where are you getting your gun from, bro? I'm sorry, I had to do that. But anyway, yeah, so really not big negatives, just stuff that I was kind of wish that happened. But yeah, all my negatives, let's get to the ratings. Alright, so I'm going to give Drop a 7.5 out of 10. I thought this was a really good movie, and one of my favorites of the year, top 5. It was a really good film. I just wish they did a little bit more for, the final fight scene at the end of the film. But still, a really good movie. I recommend it. If you love these whodunit thrillers, go check this one out in theaters. And that's why I'm giving Drop a 7.5 out of 10. I'll see you in the next one.